All right, for today's video review, we're going to be taking a look at Masters of the Universe Origins Mantenna. Yeah, this is a pretty cool figure here. Another figure from the evil horde from the Masters of the Universe line, and yeah, this is kind of an interesting Origins figure because it is actually a bit different from its original sort of vintage counterpart. In that, if you look at the original Mantenna, like the way that the legs were sculpted, it was basically like a, like for lack of a better comparison, like a Squidward tentacles kind of leg, where it would have like a single leg, but it was sculpted to look like it was two legs on each side, rather than actually having four separate legs like this figure has. So they, they opted for actually just straight up giving him four legs rather than just, implying that he had four legs. And that's a pretty nice look, I think. The one thing that is different about this figure that I don't like as much as the look of the vintage toy is that the blue that they have chosen here is way darker than the original blue on the original figure. Like, it definitely, when you're just looking at it, it kind of just looks like it's black. Like, it actually is a navy blue. Like, you can see the separation there between the black gauntlets and the blue of the skin, but it's not nearly as sort of like vibrant as the original blue of the original Mantenna. So I do think that, he kind of does miss some of that blue detailing. But, I think it's still a nice look overall nonetheless. But yeah, in terms of articulation, obviously very standard Origins articulation. He's got that double ball jointed head there, so he can rotate his head around. His very weird buggy head there. The shoulders, can rotate around and rotate out to the side. Bicep swivel. Little under 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. Wrists can swivel, and they have that hinge joint there. He's got a waist rotation. Each of the hips are on, the same kind of setup here, so they can move forward, back, out to the side. He's got a thigh swivel at the knee, which, can bend close to 90 degrees. Then he's got that boot cut there, which doesn't look too bad on him because it's mostly like a, just a circular connection. And then the feet can tilt and then hinge forward and back. And then the same thing when they rotate, they also tilt. So it's a bit of a dual joint there. And yeah, he has like a bit of like bow-leggedness just to kind of accommodate being able to get all four of his feet on the ground. So it's not too difficult to actually get him like fully planted on the ground. In terms of weaponry, he comes with the kind of typical horde weapon, which is the little crossbow here. You can just compress it and clip it in like that, and then press down on this section, and it does the very dramatic motion of springing forward a couple millimeters. So, I usually keep them compressed, but that just, you just use this little latch here and just kind of fasten it over his wrist so you can hold it. And I think that looks pretty good. And then the big gimmick with this guy is he's got a little lever on the back of his head. And why is he named Mantenna? He doesn't have any antenna. His eyes are antenna. That's a really fun gimmick, and it definitely makes for a very silly looking figure here, but I think that's a lot of fun. It's a very satisfying sort of mechanism, and it's kind of neat with the weird sort of like buggy vibe of the horde in general. I think it works pretty well. He's got the nice sort of Hordak face there for his crest on his chest there. I think that looks pretty good. But yeah, what's kind of fun about this figure is like, because he's got four legs, when they started advertising him, I was just kind of assuming that he would be a deluxe figure, one of the figures that costs a little bit more, but they come with like extra accessories. But nope, that's not true. He's just a regular release, so that's nice, because you're basically getting two extra legs here, and he also has a pretty big head too, so it's a pretty good deal price wise. In terms of comparisons, here he is with Origins, He-Man, and Skeletor. Here he is with Masterverse, He-Man, and Skeletor. Just for kind of a standard size comparison, here he is with a deluxe Transformer. And then let's bring on the other members of the Horde that I've got so far. There's Mosquitor and Hordak, and then one of the Horde troopers here. And yeah, making for a nice little Horde group of Horde troopers now. What's really nice is, like, not that long ago, the only members of the evil horde I had were Hordak and Mosquitor, and then, suddenly I got the Horde troopers, and then I got him, and then I got another one more recently who we'll look at in a few days, who also is another member of the horde. So finally, my group of Horde evil horde guys is actually growing. But yeah, I think they all look pretty good together. And yeah, you know what? Not a whole lot else to say about Mantenna. He's a pretty fun little figure. I love the gimmick. I like that they were able to give him the extra legs here. It would have been cool maybe like if they wanted to do this guy as a deluxe figure, if they had like included another set of legs so he could have the more kind of like typical sort of like Squidward-y fake four legs kind of thing going on. That could have been neat because like definitely, I do prefer the four legs, but it does kind of change the look and identity of the figure, since like when you look at the original figure, it doesn't like really read as him having four legs. It reads as him having two legs, and then when you look at the details, it's like, oh, that's supposed to be four legs. So I don't know. It's a personal preference. I think this is the way I probably would have preferred that they do it, but I could see some schools of camp or some schools of thought wanting it to be the other way. But either way, he's a fun figure. He's got a stupid little gimmick and a dumb little face, and I like him. If you enjoy my videos, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing. I do reviews every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And without further ado, here we have Masters of the Universe Origins, Mantenna.